Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Richard here from Select Motorcycle Blog. Once again, hoping that Thanksgiving dinner was good for you. Just after 2 o'clock here in the Mountain Time Zone. So obviously there on the East Coast, you've already had dinner and you've probably had dessert by now. Most of you on the West Coast are probably already in the middle of it, or you're just about done. Or if your family was like mine when you grew up, you went to Thanksgiving dinner, lunch was at noon, and it was finally 3 o'clock before you ate, because it took Grandpa that long to cuff the turkey. It just kind of the way it was where I grew up. But anyways, that's why if you ever come to a dinner at my place, I am never late with the food. This is a special edition of the Sodak Motorcycle Blog, and today's video is especially targeted towards those of you that maybe you want to ride but you don't have a bike yet. And this goes on. So a friend of mine asked me a few weeks ago, they asked me how much they would need to save up to buy a bike. And I just kind of thought around off the top of my head. I thought, okay, well, maybe $2,000, don't know for sure. Kind of a lot of other questions I wanted to know. But that got me thinking, what if we did this all the way? How much would it take to get you from zero to motorcycle? And I'm talking without anything in hand, without a bike, nothing, to actually riding on the motorcycle in the spring. So I took the number, I took a little bit of time, ran a few numbers, and this is what I come up with. So first of all, for this challenge, the ground rules were, obviously, I started with $4,000. You're also going to have to complete the MSF training. As far as I'm concerned, anyone that riding with me should complete some kind of training before they ride. That's just kind of the way I approach it, and I think that's the way you need to do it. So additionally, with that MSF requirement, obviously you're going to need tuition for that. So I went with a guesstimate of $250 for the tuition. I know in our state it's $75, but I've seen in other states where it's up to $250, so we're going to keep that in mind. Additionally, to complete the MSF course, there's a few things you need to have. You got to have certain gear. Obviously, you have a DOT helmet, long pants, iPro, a long shirt, full finger gloves, and boots or sturdy over the ankle shoes, something like that. So we keep that all. We're going to buy all of that as well for this. Also, honestly, we're going to also, for my ground rules, obviously, you're going to want a jacket while you're riding. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just going to be, you're going to want a jacket when you're riding. And additionally, I'm also going to throw in there a reflective vest requirement, partly because the job I work, I'm actually required to wear the vest onto and off the place where I work. Since I work on a military facility, it is a requirement. So we're going to throw that into, because honestly, I think even though it's a requirement for me, I also think it's a very good idea to have some kind of reflective when you're riding. Once again, before we start spending money, we're going to need to budget our $250 for our MSF training, which we've already done. So now let's go into buying some gear. Let's go to the computer here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go over to Revzilla.com. First of all, we're going to go looking for our helmet. And I'm going to go with full face because I'm going to do a full face because generally the full faces are cheaper helmets. And you can see there's plenty of ways you can shop for them. So anyways, here we are with our full faces. And you can, all kinds of options, as you can see. One option I'm looking for is the internal sun visor, because I wear sunglasses. That way I can run, and also you can run with the shield up with that visor, because that'll be your eye protection. And we're going to sort these low to high. Once again, it's a lot more helmets than you're ever going to find at your local dealership. So we're going to scroll down here, take a look at what's there. And I think we're going to go with this HJC C70 helmet. As you can see, the price is pretty good. It's got an internal shield. We're going to select my size and I'm going to add it to the cart. I'm going to go with white just because sometimes white's a little bit cheaper, plus it's a little more visible. And we're going to put that in the cart and we're going to shop for the next thing. Jacket next. And same deal, I'm going to do it low to high. There's a lot of different jacket options that are out there. Okay, so we've done some looking here. I'm gonna go with the Joe Rocket one right here. As you see, I can get lots of different colors with it, obviously different sizes. And that's just something. One thing you can do as you're going through these sizes, one thing to know, they have measuring charts, everything like that. And if you happen to see this at a dealership, try it on, get your size, come back here online and check it out. So there we go. That Joe Rocket has been added to my cart. And now we'll move on to the next thing. Next thing we're going to look for is some gloves. Once again, there's tons of different gloves you can get here. Alright, so here's a pair of gloves we're going to go with. 20 bucks, not a bad price. Get size, we're going to go ahead and add them to our cart as well. Now the next thing we're going to go after is a pair of boots. Now you don't necessarily got to pay a pair of boots or something from here. Honestly, you could really technically a pair of basketball high tops would do for you, but honestly I would say go with some kind of a boot. It's just going to be better for you. It'll be a little bit more stable for you. And honestly, there's some pretty stylish boots out there. Here's a boot right here for almost 100 bucks. And it looks like it'll be a decent boot for me. And I'll roll it. And honestly, another thing, you can go to Walmart and buy cheap boots too. Either way you want, I'd suggest you have some kind of boot. Do not be riding with tennis shoes. So next, we're going to go find our reflective vest. And there's plenty of options there. We'll probably just, because this one, since it's 50 bucks, we're just going to go with this one. Like I said, you're going to be reflective. I can go to work wherever I work. And also, like I said, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit extra reflective on you as you're riding, I don't think. You could incorporate it in your jacket as well. One thing's for sure with me is I don't like to do that just because I need it on different things. So, alright, so now it's time to check out. And just for this, we're just going to check out his guest. We're going to continue. Our estimated total is $451.75. And obviously, the one nice thing about Revzilla, you'll see it says it's free. Additionally, you're going to probably have to pay your sales tax. So I'm just going to guesstimate 9% sales tax. It's a lot lower here in South Dakota, but I'm just going to guesstimate because that's kind of the worst case, I hope. Maybe not. So 9% of that is $40.66. And that gives us a grand total of $492.11. And we're going to go ahead and round that up to $500. Sounds good? At this moment, we have spent $750 of our $4,000 budget. Meaning we can spend $3,250 on the bike? Actually, no. Because here's the thing. You can't forget about your state sales tax, which you got to pay just like any other new vehicle. Also, you got to think about insurance and also paying for the license on that motorcycle. And additionally, you're going to have to put that motorcycle endorsement on your license. In some states, it kind of depends. Once again, South Dakota, you can't really take the information I'm giving from South Dakota at heart because we're actually fairly cheap when it comes to license registration and stuff like that. So just to keep things on the safe side, we're going to say it's going to cost you about $50 to put that motorcycle endorsement on your license. And also, we're going to guess about $150 a year left for your insurance. So now we've got, at this moment, $3,050 left. Okay, so now we're going to get to the fun part. And for this, we are going to go to Cycle Trader. This is what I use. This is what I used for my last bike, and it was really handy, I think. There's other things you can use too. You can go look on Craigslist. You can take around your local dealerships or maybe some consignment dealers around you can use. And many of the dealers I actually listed in Cycle Trader as well. So you can definitely check that out. So one thing about Cycle Trader, you'll notice you can do lots of different ways of finding what you're looking for. You can get this advanced search function and you can go in. You can select your price kind of points you're looking at. For this instance, we're going to go ahead and we're going to find 3,000. I think we're just going to stick with that as our kind of our price point. Update that. And then there's lots of other ways. Obviously, we can go, there's keywords. You can select a motorcycle because they sell motorcycle trailers and stuff on this website as well. We figured out our price. For our instance here, I'm going to go ahead and put a Denver, Colorado zip code in. Because honestly, I could do it from where I live, but you might not get a lot. But we're just for sakes of, hey, larger city, we're just going to put in Denver just for the heck of it. And we got a decent amount of matches here. And we're going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit, kind of see what the process is. Like I said, you can... So we got tons of matches here. And we're going to kind of take a look around. We can sort this around a little bit and kind of get to what we're looking for. And that's one thing you need to watch out for when you're kind of in this category, is you can see, there's a chance you could see a lot of junk bikes out there with problems in this price range. So I would say try to avoid bikes that need a ton of work. I would say, you know what, if it's a cosmetic like a dent in the tank that doesn't affect anything, that's not the end of the world. But basically, you want to try to avoid bikes that need work. I would suggest that you absolutely do not buy anything that's not running. You want something that's running, because honestly, you're going to waste all your time waste a lot of time trying to get the thing running. You're never going to get it running. You're going to sell it for a loss, and you're going to say to heck with it because you couldn't get it running. So don't do this. Don't make this a project bike. You know what? If you ride for a year and you decide, hey, you know what, I want to fix up a bike. Okay, go right ahead and buy one and have it as your second one then. But do not rely on, don't go and spend $300 thinking you're going to fix up this bike, because you never know with a bike that's not running how much it's actually going to take to get that running, if it will ever run again. So beware there. Also, I would stay away from anything that's got bad tires on it, because here's the thing. If you got to replace the tires right away, there's probably $400 to $500, and that's just for tires. You factor in labor, there's probably another $700, or that's probably $700 altogether by the time you factor in the labor that honestly you don't want to spend on this bike. You want this bike, what we're looking for is something we can get on and ride and start kind of learning to ride right away. As far as engine size goes, I would recommend staying in about that 500 to 1000 cc range. That's not a necessary hard rule, but the nice thing about that range is you can still have fun in that range, and it will, if all else fails, it will get you by for a while. You know, if you get like a 750, that will get you by for a while. I would not recommend buying like a little 250 or something like that, because you may ride that for 2 months and decide, oh, now I want to upgrade it. And especially don't want to buy like a new Rebel 250 from a dealership, because honestly, you're going to lose all that money that first year you have it, and you're not going to get anything out of it. So I would stay away from that. I would say mostly used bikes, and like I said, that 500 to 1000 cc range is a pretty good range to stick in, I think. How about this one right here? Here's a 93 Suzuki Intruder, 40,000 miles. That ain't too bad. But maybe we'll keep going because it's a little bit big. How about this one right here? Here we go. Here's one I think would be absolutely perfect as a starter bike right here. It's a Honda Shadow 600, 1995. Not a terrible price. 23,000 or so miles on it. From Denver, it's a little bit of drive up to Scottsbluff, but heck, I don't know. I might have to tell my friend about this one here in South Dakota, because we're not too far away from here as well. We found her bike. It looks like we got everything we need now. So the bike, obviously our cost for our bike is $1995. That's $1,995. And we're going to guess the state tax on it. I'm just going to go with 7%. In South Dakota, it's only 4%, which, yep, and we complain about that. I'm going to guess about $200 for the plates. Once again, in South Dakota, we pay about $50, but I know there's a lot of states out there that pay a heck of a lot more than we do. Our bike total is $2,334.65. So let's round up the grand totals here. So we started with $4,000. Our MSF course was $250. Our license was $50. Our insurance was $150. Our motorcycle costs, to include the cost of the bike, the state sales tax, and putting the license plates on it, put us at $2,334.65. $715.65, leaving us $715.35. I would say maybe use this for rain gear. I didn't mention it in there, but I would definitely invest in some, and you don't even have to get super great rain gear. Just if you live in an area that doesn't get a ton of rain, you know what, just go find some cheap set that'll work. If you live in an area that has a lot of rain, I would definitely invest in a good pair of rain gear. We could also buy some riding pants. Maybe you could take that money, set it aside, put in your motorcycle maintenance for fun. For, you know, obviously you're going to need change oil every once in a while. There's some maintenance tasks you're going to have to do on it. You never know, you might have oh no, something went wrong and we got to fix something fast on it. Or you could put that away for maybe your next one, etc. There's tons of things you can do. So there you have it. I just proved that I can get you pretty much from zero not riding to a motorcycle rider for just over $3,000. So honestly, the budget I started with at first with the $4,000, I think $4,000 would definitely get you there, and I think that would be a good place to start, and that will get you all the gear and everything you need. The biggest gist of this is to help you understand that honestly you don't need a small fortune to get into riding. It's not as expensive as you think. Honestly, I think we proved today, if you set a realistic goal, I think $4,000 is a realistic goal of what you can save up. I mean, this is the time of year to do it. If you happen to have one of those jobs where you get a Christmas bonus, when you get your tax return back, maybe you get a decent refund. I think you could get $4,000 saved fairly easily, fairly quickly. I think it's definitely doable. $4,000 should get you into it, and if you play it right, you should have plenty of money to spare, which that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Once again, this is Richard Lewis from the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope the holiday seasons treat you well. Be looking for my holiday season end of the year special coming soon. So anyways, till next time, for those of you that are still riding and haven't put away your bike for the winter, if you live in the South, keep the rubber side down and enjoy the ride. And for the rest of us, well, just bide your time, because spring will be here before you know it. Once again, this is Richard Lewis from the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. Thank you, and have a good